Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another pick a card reading. So in today's reading, we're going to be looking at what do you need to know about your dreams. Dreams meaning desires, goals, manifestations, whether they are like known or unknown to you, deep or kind of conscious, we'll find out. So we have three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the 9 of Pentacles, Group 2 is the Wheel of Fortune, and Group 3 is the 10 of Pentacles. And Nina is very upset that I didn't introduce her. So this is my cat Nina, and she is here today because she is grumpy that I haven't fed her yet, even though it's not time for her to have breakfast. Anyway, so that's what we have. So go ahead and choose which card you feel most drawn to, and then I'll see you for your reading. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. So what do you need to know about your dreams or your desires? So what I was going to say, it's really interesting that Nina just walked away, because I was about to say that you don't actually need anyone else to make these dreams or desires come true. There's something about what you're manifesting or what you're dreaming of, what you would like, where maybe you feel, maybe you already know this and you know you want to do it in an independent way, or that you're like working on something solo on your own. But for those of you who maybe are a little bit more unsure about this, Spirit's really coming through to tell you that you don't need anyone else. You're actually meant to work on this goal, towards this goal, kind of solo. It might even mean that you're not meant to tell anyone about it as well. Keep it quite secret. Keep it to yourself. But it's also, this card is speaking that you are more than capable of achieving it for yourself. So it's like you don't really need handouts, or you don't really need, I don't know, a leg up or like a mentor or anything like that. Really, you are meant to source this from within yourself and within your own kind of capabilities. You're meant to do this for yourself and do it alone. And there's something about doing it alone that's going to really help you with your soul's evolution. Your path in life is meant to, like, something about this goal that you're manifesting, this dream you're manifesting, achieving it alone without the help of others is going to really solidify something for you as a soul. It might be that you've worked on solo projects before, but there feels something like more significant about this one. And I think that for for all of you, there is maybe some level of self-doubt about going it alone, or maybe it's more like societal. Maybe society tells you you could never achieve this alone, or it's impossible for you to achieve this alone. Or maybe there's fears inherent from ancestors or like family. Maybe for some of you, it might be about solo traveling or something. As an example, it's like solo travel. Hello, Nina. Solo travel might make, like family members feel nervous for you and be like, you can't do that, it's not safe, or something like this. But I'm feeling something about you are meant to do something on your own and have that energy of just like solo work, solo trip, solo travel, solo achievement. And not having help is actually going to help you, okay? So it's like there's sort of even some level of maybe like subconscious programming of what people think you should do or what you ought to do. And you're kind of living outside of that box. You're living outside of that. But Spirit's saying it's very aligned and you will be very successful from this. With the 9 of Pentacles as well, it's a card that says you could actually be quite successful financially from following this dream, this goal, and achieving it. But there is something about boundaries here and the need, again, to go it alone. And I feel that especially if it's some kind of a project in which you would be making money. And there's a little ant on the table for my plant because I usually keep it outside. And ants are about industriousness and productivity, but there's only one, okay? There's only one ant, and they usually work as like a big colony, as in like a team. So there's something again about this solo work, the industriousness of it. Like if you were to have a lot of people involved in the project, just for example, if you're working towards some kind of a project in which you would release it and make some kind of money from it, there's something about other people's energy would dilute the end product, and it would dilute the impact that you would be able to have on the world. And even if it feels very ambitious, like I keep getting this sense of like people telling you that it's impossible, you're never going to achieve this, it's not going to happen. Or if they were to know, they might say that, which is another reason why Spirit's saying to keep it sort of silent about it, to keep silent about it, to keep it a secret, to keep it more towards yourself, hidden towards yourself. and to not really give many details, because I just feel like this is between you and the divine. This is between you and God. This is between you and spirit. And you've already had the download for this goal, for this dream. You already know what you're meant to do. You already know that you're here to work on this yourself. And so other people's energy would just kind of like confuse that or muddy the waters and create more confusion about your path. Look, there might be like 1 or 2 trusted people that you can share this dream or this goal with. If you really feel like, that they wouldn't compromise it or doubt you, if you feel they would be a support, then I feel you can definitely do that. But I'm just meaning, as a general rule, Spirit's not wanting you to speak about this or broadcast it. Or even like, for example, I'm getting something about like not getting investor money, for example. Like this feels like something you really need independence within this project or this dream. And for others of you, it might be something that you feel like, can I really achieve this by myself? And the thing is that you're going to be more successful by doing this for yourself and doing this on your own, rather than doing it in a way where you might be like codependent with someone else. Because now for some reason I'm getting, this is so bizarre, but I'm getting like the image of, those like weight loss clubs where you can like kind of go and then it's like there's a big group and everyone's kind of like in it together and they're following a plan or whatever. I'm not really like making any judgment on that per se, but I'm just saying that in this instance, it's the example of like, maybe someone is wanting to lose weight and they're like, well, maybe I should join a club and get a mentor and get a buddy and get, but it's like Spirit saying, no, you need to do this alone and with yourself, because that's what's going to give you this deeper relationship with what it is you're trying to manifest. And it's going to make it a lot more stable when it actually comes in. Doing it for yourself, because you have already the codes within you that you need to unlock this manifestation. It's like you already have it within you and you have to really go inwards, turn inwards and find that within yourself. You will face some kind of challenges along the way that are to do with subconscious programming, that are to do with like limiting beliefs within your subconscious that you are here to overcome and alchemize. So don't see any obstacles as setbacks. See it as actually necessary work for your growth. Like it's a positive thing even. Any setbacks that you might face while working towards this dream, this goal, really try not to get disheartened towards that, although I know that it can be easier said than done. But the thing is that it's all actually part of your overall ascension. Like there's a sort of like you're focusing on a particular dream or manifestation that you're desiring. But working towards it is actually working like at a very deep soul level towards your ascension pathway. So anything that you face that's like an obstacle or you have to alchemize it, it's actually a really positive thing. So Spirit's saying to like shift your perception about any setbacks or hardships that you might face on the path towards this goal, because you're more than capable of achieving it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Even if the whole world tells you that it's impossible, you are more than capable of achieving it. You are more than capable of achieving it. Spirit really wants you to know about this. And even if you feel like there might be a question within you of like, am I dreaming too big? Is my goal too big? Is it too outrageous? Is it even possible? And Spirit is saying, yes, it's very much possible. It's very much possible. Now, I'm also getting a message about when you actually achieve your goal. And see how the woman on this card, she has a bird like perched on her hand. And I'm kind of seeing this bird as like a wild bird rather than a tamed bird, like a wild bird. But the bird has chosen to come and like rest on her arm, on her hand. And I feel this is about magnetism. There's something about when you achieve this dream that you will be so magnetic towards your desires. And the outcome of this dream could actually be way more successful than you even can realize at this point in your life. It might start to become more clear the more you work on it. You might start to realize like, wait a minute, this is going to be like really successful. This is really aligned for me, or this is actually going somewhere. But I feel like you don't even realize like how much magnetism you have as a soul, and this dream that you have is unlocking it for you. And see how that bird is just resting on her hand like really graciously. There's something about you have the world like eating out of your hands. There's something about this where it's like the animals in nature will be drawn to you. Like there's a primal magnetism towards you. And again, with the 9 of Pentacles, this dream or desire or goal, this manifestation could actually have the potential to make you a lot of money. It could also be passive income money, where you don't necessarily have to work, a certain amount of hours to make a certain amount of money. It could be selling a product, or like a music album or something like this, where it could reach a large scale of people. And Spirit's saying, if you've been having dreams, particularly about money, like making a certain amount of money or making it in a certain way, it's very much possible. There's a lot to do with this group around breaking free from the limiting beliefs within the mind, and it could even be limiting beliefs within the collective consciousness of the earth, which might tell you that something isn't possible for you. And I keep getting this really strongly. It keeps sort of circling back to this place of like, oh, but it's not possible, it's not possible, it's not possible. And I feel this might be one of the biggest obstacles that you are needing to overcome as you work towards this dream, is just realizing that just because the world at large thinks that something isn't possible doesn't mean that it isn't possible. Just because people say to you, like, this isn't possible, or the voices in your head from, internalized voices say to you, like, oh, this isn't possible, or your ancestry or your parents, whatever, say that's not possible, that doesn't make something impossible. Okay, that's just their perception. And the thing is that you have a really strong connection with Spirit. You feel really one with Spirit, with the divine. And this dream that you've had has been downloaded directly from Spirit. Like, it's been downloaded specifically from Spirit. And that's why Spirit is telling you, like, yes, it's possible, because Spirit doesn't put something in your heart, doesn't give you so much energy and inspiration to work on something unless it's going somewhere, unless it's for a reason. So I really feel there's a strong message here about whatever you might have a shadow around, feeling like something is impossible, or maybe you're dreaming too big, or this is, it's never going to happen like that. Spirit's saying, really, it actually is. It actually is possible. It actually is happening. And you are more than capable of achieving it. And it's closer than you think as well. This group is making me think about this documentary that I watched at the beginning of the year called 14 Peaks, and it's about a Nepalese mountain climber called Nimsparja. And basically he climbed all of the 14 highest mountains in the world in a record amount of time. Like, he did it in 6 months and 6 days, when previously all of those mountains, the 14 tallest mountains above 8,000 meters, had only been climbed within, I think it was a bit over 8 years. So basically the documentary was about him having this amazing download from Spirit, realizing that this was his destiny, that this was what he was here to do, and then facing from the climbing community basically every single person telling him, this is impossible, you're crazy, you're going to die, this isn't possible, what are you doing? But he just kept strong with his conviction. Like, he knew that this was what he was meant to do. And he did it. He achieved it. And thinking about like the risk of climbing those 8,000 meter, like above 8,000 meter mountains is really high. Like, there's like something like a 1 in 4 chance of dying or something like this. It might even be higher than that. And he climbed all 14 of them within 6 months and 6 days with a team of other Nepalese climbers, and they survived. Like, they were all fine. The statistics of actually pulling that off is incredible. And so it's not surprising that people in the climbing community were like, you can't do this, this is impossible, what are you doing? But he realized, like, it was part of what he was here to do. It was part of his mission to prove something to the world, that it is possible, that when we have this download from Spirit, when we know in our hearts this is what we're meant to do, then it is possible. It doesn't matter what kind of parameters that we're facing, what kind of statistics that we're up against about if or not it's possible. Like, there is a reason that there is a desire put into your heart, and we have to have the courage and the conviction to follow that. So that documentary, it felt like it had codes. It felt like it was seriously, he was gifting something to the collective consciousness, to helping expand the fields of belief for the world about what we believe is even possible for ourselves and for the planet. What we believe is possible, because this goes even deeper than just like what is possible for us right now. This is about what is possible for us as a future for the earth. And if we don't even believe that our dreams are possible, then how do we believe that the new earth is possible? How do we believe that huge change, huge healing, mass awakening is possible for the earth, right? So this is so deep, and it speaks to the fact that on earth there are a lot of fields of disbelief that have been created over time amongst humans, where we kind of have settled into these consciousness loops. We've settled into this state of consciousness, these sort of like neural pathways in which we believe only a very small sort of, we believe like only a very small amount of what is actually possible. We've put like a glass ceiling above us about what we believe is possible. And there's so much fear and there's so much policing from other people if we try to go beyond that. So I feel like part of your mission on earth in this life for yourself is actually to achieve, could even be more than one thing or one very particular thing. You are meant to achieve something that people think is impossible. You're meant to achieve something that people think is impossible, and it's really important not only for your own soul's evolution and ascension, like I was saying, but also for the collective consciousness to expand and to realize that way more is possible than what we have given ourselves credit for as human beings. We are capable of so much more, and we need to be capable of so much more to really change this planet, to change the way that things are being done. So like, you are a visionary, you are a change maker, you are here to like bust through illusions. And I feel like this particular dream that you have asked about in this reading is kind of step one for you. Like, it's not going to end there. It's not ending there in terms of you achieving things. I feel like this particular dream is kind of like step one, because it's going to break through your own barriers. It's going to break through your own barriers around what you believe is possible, which is going to then kind of open up more pathways for you in life. Like, I feel like this is really just the beginning. And as massive as this might feel for you, or as much as this might come up against belief barriers within yourself, where you might literally feel like this is unbelievable or this is impossible, once you achieve it, you're going to be sitting in a very different consciousness frequency, and you're going to realize that so much of the fear was really just an illusion. So much of the beliefs that people hold aren't real around what is or is not possible for us. And I think that this is going to inspire you to do great work in the world. I see you as being this real visionary, revolutionary character in the earth, and having visions for things that people are like, what on earth? But then once it comes in, once it actually comes into form, then they're super inspired and they're like, wow, this is amazing. So there's a lot of work here for you to do around how to deal with humanity in a way, how to deal with my throat chakra swing, how to deal with naysayers, how to deal with people that might try to bring you down or talk you out of something or tell you that something is impossible or be jealous or critical. And you're not holding out for universal popularity, because, I mean, that's never going to happen. You don't need everyone to love you or everyone to agree with you or everyone to be inspired by what you do. But I see a shift happening within yourself, and then that is really going to help people to see you better. I think that there's been a lot of your life where you've really been unseen in your genius, and this has come from some kind of karmic burden or karmic imprint that you are meant to overcome, and it's going to unlock much more of this magnetism, because my throat chakra has been going a little bit in your reading, and I feel that you've dealt with a lot of judgment or jealousy from the world at large, and people not really getting you and not understanding who you are and your genius. So there's something about this dream coming into fruition where it's like, yeah, you're going to really be seen for the genius that you are, and it's going to be kind of undeniable. People aren't really going to be able to deny that for you anymore. But again, we can't hold out for universal popularity because it's just not possible. I mean, people can see, like, for example, that Nim's Purger film, me and my partner watched that with someone else, and we were both like super inspired by it and activated, and we were like, wow. But the person we watched it with, they were like, oh, they were like, I think that he's lying, or I think that it was a scam or something like this. And we couldn't believe it, but we were thinking about it, and it's like, well, the subconscious programming, like, people have to think the way that they're going to think. Not everyone is going to believe something, even if the truth and the evidence is right in front of you. Like, oh, this guy, this Nim's Purger, he climbed all 14 peaks in 6 months and 6 days, even though previously the world record was over 8 years. That is like hard evidence of like someone achieved that, but doesn't mean that everyone in the world will celebrate it. Doesn't mean that everyone in the world will be like, wow, that's amazing. Doesn't mean that everyone in the world will see that for what it is. Some people will think that he's lying, or he's a cheat, or he's a phony, or he's an egomaniac or whatever, which is like whatever. It's everyone has their own perception and perspective. But I just feel like you've been really impacted by people's judgment and criticism, and they like twist you. They twist the truth and they twist your motives maybe. And I think there's something about that karmic pattern coming to a rest with the completion of this dream and this project. So you will really come up against like some of your deepest and darkest like fears and shadows in the pursuit of this dream. Like there is a lot of things that you will have to overcome in order to achieve this, because it's getting you from one sort of version of yourself to another. I'm seeing the image of a butterfly now, where it's like this transformation. You're kind of moving from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and there's a huge difference, right, between those two states. So there's a lot of kind of like karmic work that you're doing actually in your life. And as much as you might be working towards this dream, you're actually also doing all this work subconsciously and kind of in the astral realm as you sleep and things like this. And then once you achieve this dream, you're going to be living from a very different consciousness level. You're going to be living in a different form of yourself, a different version of yourself, where you're going to be a lot more magnetic and attractive to the world. Whereas before, I see you were very much more misunderstood. And it's kind of like that classic like movie trope where someone like a nerd or something is getting bullied, and then by like the popular kids, and then something happens where the nerd becomes popular, and then all the popular kids are like nice to him, and they're like, oh, I like you now. It's kind of like that with the world a little bit, okay? Where it's sort of like you're going to be a bit like, wow, people are really superficial, really fake or something. And it's also just because they perceive you in a totally different way. So yeah, you are moving from like you're moving into a very different energy, like really, really different, like from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And if you think about it with a caterpillar, it's like caterpillars are pretty cool, but butterflies are just like magnificently beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Like they really are stunning. I love butterflies. They really just like capture your attention, and it's like, wow. So there's something about this where it's like a lot of people couldn't quite see your genius, although I do think that there were some people that can. And like I definitely can see it. But once you're in that butterfly form, it's going to be undeniable. And everyone, like, there's not universal popularity. Like I said, it's never going to be universal, but there's going to be a lot more attention on you and a lot more praise from the world at large, which is going to be kind of interesting to you, because you're going to really observe kind of like social dynamics. Like I was saying, that classic movie trope where like the nerd is bullied and then they become popular and then they become liked by the popular kids who are bullying them. It's a strange world, you know? Okay, so let's get you some cards. Or it could even be, for example, family members. Like, for example, you have a dream and your family members are like, you can't do this, you can't achieve this. And then you go out and achieve it. And then they're like, oh, see, I always knew you could do this. And you're like, what are you talking about? You told me I couldn't achieve it. And they're like, no, I always knew you would do it. It's like, what? There's going to be something like that where it's like how you were treated before you achieve the goal and how you're treated after you achieve the goal is really different. And it might kind of irritate you a little bit, because I feel like you're a person with a lot of integrity. And so you're kind of like, what is this? Like, it feels like a bit superficial or something. But it's also, it is, but it's also a little bit about your karma. And when we clear like karmic burdens and karmic imprints within us, the world does show up differently for us. Like the manifestation comes from within us first, right? So it's like it's inner world, it's inner work. And this reading, like, just to reiterate, this is all about your inner work. Like you are meant to do this alone because it's all about your inner work. And I really feel as well, something like, especially don't get a mentor, or don't get someone who you become too like codependent or enmeshed with, because I really feel like their energy would muddy the waters and make your path, like it would delay your path. Yeah, there's something really clear about that. Okay, we're going to pull a couple more cards to finish, okay? Yeah, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. This is totally your destiny, group 1. Like whatever it is that you feel in your heart, like this dream, this desire that you've asked about, no matter how impossible you think it is, this is your destiny. It is meant to happen. And part of you stepping out of this comfort zone is because is like the comfort zone of the collective consciousness is what I'm getting more. Like the comfort zone representing the collective consciousness of what people think is possible. You are meant to step out of that. You're meant to step out of what the collective consciousness thinks is possible and dream so big and achieve it and change the world by doing that. Like literally change what people believe is real. Conclusions are within reach. Wow. Okay. So you're actually closer than you think you are to achieving this dream. I feel like some of you, it might feel like really far away or really hard or really impossible, but it's actually a lot closer than you think, and a lot more readily available than you think. Because, like I said, a lot of this is more about the inner work, the inner shift, the clearing of those subconscious blocks, then can unlock this flow state where you are like hyper productive. Even if you are like, well, there's a lot of work, or there's a lot here, there's a lot that I have to do. It's like, I feel like something about you're going to achieve it in record timing, like the shortest amount of time possible. Because I'm thinking back to Nim's Purger, and it's like, who would have ever thought that you could climb all 14 of the world's highest mountains above 8,000 meters within 6 months and 6 days? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's like insane. Even 8 years is like amazing. Like the previous record that Nim's Purger beat, 8 years, that's still amazing. 8 years is amazing. 6 months is like mind-blowing, okay? It's actually mind-blowing to think about it. I'm like obsessed with mountaineering documentaries for some reason. I think because I really love the spirit of the mountains. But anyway, so there's something here about where it's like you're going to kind of be mind-blowing to the world. And that's part of why you're going to be so magnetic, because people are going to be like, wow, and it's going to really inspire people. Like I said, not everyone will be inspired. Not everyone will love you. Sure. You won't be universally loved, but you're going to have a huge amount of huge amount of people inspired by you, huge amount of people feeling magnetized towards you, a huge amount of profit from this project as well. And it's so much closer than you think. Like there's just a few more internal shifts that you need to make, and then it's right there at your fingertips. Like it's right there within arm's reach. Like you can just reach out and grab it and pull it towards you. The thing that's made it feel far away or made it feel blocked is more of internal blocks than it is actual physical reasons, right? It's more like an internal shift rather than, oh, you got to work for like 100 days and 100 nights. It's not so much like that. It's more an internal thing. And then the amount of time in which you can achieve this thing is going to be mind-blowing to you. It's going to really blow your mind. Okay, group 1, that is your reading for what you need to know about your dreams or you're manifesting right now. I wish you so much luck on your path. And if you would like to check out more of my work, please see the links in the description box below. I have a lot of light language tapes on my shop. They all work at the subconscious mind level because light language works at the subconscious mind level. And if you would like a little bit more assistance with clearing these subconscious blocks, these internal kind of energies, these karmic things, so you can move forward on your path, I would really recommend that. The one that's coming most to mind is the Akashic record clearing, and also the Activate Your Voice throat chakra clearing. Specifically what I'm seeing for your group. Okay, all the best and much love. Hello group 2, and welcome to your reading. So what does Spirit want you to know about your dreams, your desires, your manifestations? So Wheel of Fortune, you're having a lucky break, group 2. You're having a lucky break. But I also feel like the way that this might manifest might be a little bit unexpected or surprising, or it might even have an element of like a twist to it where at first it might feel like something happening is unlucky, but it turns out to be really, really lucky. I'm trying to think of an example to best explain the energy that I'm feeling. It feels kind of like a trickster energy from the universe. Like, I don't know, imagine you're on holiday or something and you're staying in a hotel and you have to complain about something with the room. Like there's something about the room where you're like, oh my God, how unlucky is this? I'm right next to a construction site, or I don't know, there's something wrong with the room that you're not happy with. So you're like feeling really unlucky. So you go to complain, but then you actually end up being upgraded to like the penthouse suite or something, and you have the best holiday of your life in this luxurious sort of apartment, that wasn't previously available to you. That's kind of the energy I'm getting, where it's like something you feel like is unlucky and you're like, oh my gosh, why did this have to happen? But then actually it turns out to be really lucky and things fall in your favor. So keep that in mind over the next little while, that things aren't always as they seem. Like sometimes things might appear negative or unlucky on the surface, but if we look deeper, they might be moving us to a better situation, or they might be like transforming something in our life. So there's something here about some kind of an upgrade. I feel like your life is getting some kind of an upgrade. Yeah, you're getting some kind of an upgrade, and you are having a lucky break in something that you have been working towards, or something that you have just been simply daydreaming about, or wishing or desiring for. I feel like for a lot of you, this could be quite a long-standing thing that you've been wanting and desiring, and you've been putting a lot of consistent effort towards. So it feels kind of like a breakthrough after, putting a lot of work towards something. There's something about you need to know about this dream, that it doesn't matter how long that it might have taken you to get here to the achievement of the dream, or it doesn't matter how many times you might have tried to achieve it and maybe, fallen short or failed in some way. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm just getting something about the past will be wiped clean. Like, as soon as you achieve this dream, that isn't going to matter to you anymore. And so Spirit's sort of asking you to not make it into a narrative about your life or about what's possible for you, because I just feel this breakthrough happening, but I just also feel something to do with the nature of this dream is that it's sort of all or nothing, meaning that there's a period, it doesn't have to be long, but there's a period where you're working towards it and you don't necessarily get the results until they all come at once. It's like all or nothing. So that can kind of lead to sometimes feeling a bit disheartened, or questioning, is this ever going to happen? Because you might be kind of thinking where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But I just see you have to just keep being persistent, and eventually, it will crack open and you will have this dream happen for you. So there's, I guess, a message about persistence in the face of adversity, or in the face of just things taking a long time, and not giving up. Don't give up right before you strike gold. Don't give up 1 foot before diamonds, Yeah. It's really feeling like this, there's from, what's that book called? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He talks about there's a person who buys a diamond mine, and he's mining for diamonds, and he's trying. He does all this work to try to find the diamonds, and he's I give up, there's no diamonds here. So he sells the mine on, and then the person who takes the mine over, they find the diamonds 1 foot from where he stopped looking, the previous owner stopped looking. So I don't even know if that's a real story or not, but it represents exactly the energy that I'm feeling. It's don't give up, because as soon as you get there, you've got there, right? As soon as you get there, you've got there. So this has been somewhat of an endurance test, I feel. You've put a lot of effort in, and you will be rewarded for it. And like I said, once this new thing comes in for you, once this dream is achieved, you're not going to mind that it took so long. You're not going to be bitter and resentful about the past and be gosh, why did it have to take so long? It's so unfair. You're not going to be feeling victimized by that. You're just going to be celebrating and excited and in a totally different energy field. And so it's going to be a total kind of transformation of your energy once you're in this new field. Once you're in this manifestation of this dream, it's it's going to be completely different. Well, okay, some cards falling out, but let's see. For group number 2, Spirit, what do you want them to know about their dream? What do you want them to know? The cat. Healthy boundaries, independence. Okay, group 2, Spirit, what do you want them to know about their dream? Fear. Yeah, see, I did think it was bringing up quite a lot of fear. Let's see, what else? The Grail Knight, romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. And we have trust. Something about achieving this dream, you are confronting some kind of a fear within yourself. Or it might be that you're afraid of the dream not occurring. That feels really strong, that version of fear. It's where you're afraid that it won't happen, or that it's not possible. Or that kind of fear. Spirit's really telling you not to give up. I keep feeling this. I keep feeling don't give up, because when this dream comes true, it will happen overnight success. it will happen literally overnight. Like you'll be given an opportunity that you just didn't have before, or you'll have some kind of a breakthrough. It's kind of feeling like, for example, like someone who is trying to make it big in the acting world or something, and they're doing like so many auditions and they're just like constantly getting these roles that they're not really fulfilled by, or they're not getting callbacks or whatever, and they're putting in so much effort but they're not achieving the thing that they're wanting to achieve. But Spirit's saying if you just keep going, like the next day you might get that call for that audition and then get the part for like the big movie that is the breakthrough in your career. But all you have to do is keep going. So I see that there's some kind of fear, and it might sometimes make you want to kind of like give up. There's something about the achievement of this dream where it's like, yeah, you have to confront fear. But the fear feels like it's going to be pre-manifestation fear rather than post-manifestation fear, which is honestly better, I think. So all the fear will happen like before the dream comes true. And Spirit's saying to work with it because the Grail Knight says illusion, right? Illusion. So there's something about this fear that might bring up illusions for you, where especially, for example, this thing about giving up, where it's like maybe you feel a fear of like judgment from others, where you're trying so hard at this career and it's not going anywhere, and you're thinking, oh my God, everyone's just laughing at me, I'm being humiliated or something like this, and it makes you kind of want to just like throw in the towel and give up. And Spirit's saying, don't let that voice of fear create an illusion in your life, because you are so worth it this and you are so able to achieve this, but you have to keep going. You have to keep persevering. Perseverance will be rewarded for you with this dream. Like this dream is not possible without perseverance. And I think that it has already taken more from you than you thought. As in the pursuit of this dream, you were like, I did not think it was going to be this hard or take this much from me or require this much perseverance or this much resilience. But it has. And yeah, it has. But perseverance is your superpower in this situation. Like you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve, but it does require perseverance and not giving up. Ultimately not giving up. Like you can have periods of time where you feel like giving up. That's okay. That's allowed. But actually fully giving up and walking away and letting that voice of fear or shame or whatever win, that's what would block you from this dream. Nothing else. So the other thing that I was getting is, remember how at the beginning I was like, there might be something to do with this dream coming true that feels kind of tricky, like a trickster energy, where it's like at first it feels unlucky and then all of a sudden it's like the luckiest thing of your life. Like, I don't know, maybe it's sort of like, because I feel with this dream there's something about you that's very ambitious. There's something about this group that feels ambitious, like you want to achieve something. So I don't know, maybe you get hired as a bartender or something for a venue that hosts theatre productions, and you really want to be an actor or an actress or whatever. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm just a bartender. How unlucky is this? But then like somehow you get chatting to like the director of the play, and then they really like your energy, and you tell them, well, I'm an actor. And then they're like, well, you know what? We really need this role filled because someone's just been injured. And then you go and audition for it, and then they love you and they're like, great, this is it. So there's something here about that where it's like, it might feel at first like unlucky or humiliating, or like, this is so not what I wanted, Spirit. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like I have to work in the bar instead of be on the stage. But there's something about where there's going to be a twist of fate. There's going to be a twist of fortune. Or you're a backup singer. Something like this, where it's like you're a backup singer for someone and they get to tour around, but you want to be the one, in front of the, like the one that everyone's coming to see. You don't want to be a backup singer. So there's something about it. It's like where you're going to be promoted. You're going to be pushed up the ladder. You're going to have some twist of fortune, some twist of fate, where at first you felt kind of like humbled and you're like, oh my gosh, I just have to be this bartender or just this backup singer. But then all of a sudden you get pushed into the limelight and you get that breakthrough that you've been wanting. So Spirit's asking you to kind of like have faith with the trust card about the way that things can and will manifest for you, because there is something about it that it will challenge you a bit. The way that this dream comes in, you're going to be like, are you kidding me, Spirit? Are you kidding me? And in a way, you're not going to kind of see it. But I think that this reading that you're receiving in this moment is going to help you have a little bit more resilience as to like the way that the universe kind of throws us these ups and downs. And like, I think you are very good at gratitude and being grateful for the opportunities that you do have. But I also feel this hunger in you for like this drive for success. Like you want success, you want ambition. You feel very ambitious to me. So Spirit's saying stay with it. And I feel like that's also what this cat card, the independence and healthy boundaries card, is saying, is like stay with your dream. Even if everyone else doesn't understand or everyone else thinks, oh, they're not achieving anything. Like don't let their energy get in the way of your actions. Ultimately, people can think what they want, they can perceive how they want to perceive, and we can't really do that much to control it. So Spirit's saying, like, don't try to control how other people perceive your process towards success, because once you have this dream come true, like, they're literally not going to even think about it anymore. Like, it's going to be completely wiped from their memory that they even doubted you. So there's something about it that feels like even like an illusion. Like they not really think that, but it's sort of reflecting to you your deepest inner fears of like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it. People are just laughing at me. It's like that kind of energy. And the thing is, like, going after something in the way that you are, it takes a huge amount of vulnerability. It really does. It takes a huge amount of vulnerability to like have a dream and to go for it and to be in that phase in between where you have manifested something, right? The pre-manifestation phase is, it depends on what you're manifesting. But in your case, in this scenario, I feel like it's probably like going to be the hardest, basically. And it takes a lot of perseverance. And I keep getting now again with that cat energy. It's like, don't worry if people don't understand or they doubt it or they think that it's not possible or that you're not going anywhere, or that you yourself are chasing an illusion or something like this, because I feel like in your heart of hearts, you do have a trust, you do have a faith. You're like, this is what I'm here to do. This is my path. I know with every fiber of my being, this is what I'm meant to do. So the way that other people perceive that is sort of irrelevant, because this is between you and spirit, between you and your higher self, between you and your soul, where you know that this is the path you're meant to follow and this is the dream you're meant to achieve. And I feel like you might have even known this from when you were very young or for a long period of time now. Yeah, there's something about endurance. You've been with this for a long time. So don't give up. Like, don't give up. Like, that's really the strongest message of what Spirit wants you to know about your dream is like, don't you dare give up. Do not give up, because you are close. Once you have the breakthrough, it will kind of be like night and day, okay? With the Wheel of Fortune, that talks about destiny shifting really fast. Like I was saying, you get suddenly the breakthrough of your life, the breakthrough movie, the breakthrough singing with your singing career, whatever. I'm getting like a strong presence, like you have a strong presence. Apply this to whatever dream it is, because for some of you, it could even be a health breakthrough that you've had to really work for and like fight for in a way. It's something where you had to fight for this. You've put in so much passion. You've had so much passion and drive to achieve this, and you've had to fight against all odds even. You've invested so much into this. Time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. And the process of achieving this dream has been like a purge. I feel like it's purged you of all of your fears, of even past life energies as well. Because when this dream comes true, it feels like that. It feels like a dream come true. And one that you yourself may have doubted, but definitely people around you have doubted. Consciously or unconsciously, this has sort of rubbed off on you a little bit, and Spirit's asking you to have boundaries with other people's energies and be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they can see it or they can't see it or whatever, because this is between you and Spirit sees you and Spirit knows, and I can see it too. Those with eyes can see. So you will have this dream. Like, I feel like you will reach this success that you want. And when it comes in with the Wheel of Fortune, your life will be so different. Like the wheel talks about destiny, like shifting, like the tides, the tides come in and out. There's like a force in this universe that is outside of our control, but is also written into the fabric of everything around us. And there's a perfect like symmetry to everything. There's a perfect design. There's an order. So you are part of this divine order. And when this destiny moment comes in for you, it will feel kind of outside of your control. Like it will feel like it's happening to you in the best kind of way. And then you'll be swept up, like in the tides, you'll be swept up to a new life, like a completely new life. And you will have purged all your fears pre-manifestation. what you've been going through, you've had to purge so much fear out of your body, out of your cells, out of your past lives, all these karmic imprints you've been purging and purging and purging and releasing and releasing and releasing. And this purge in itself is evidence that you are having this breakthrough, that it is happening for you. This purge in itself is evidence of this breakthrough and that it's happening for you. I just feel like the fear has been creating a lot of fog, and you weren't able to see properly. Like, there's something I'm seeing with your third eye now where it's like you weren't fully able to see. That's right, the illusion card with the Grail Knight. You weren't fully able to see like just how close you are. Just like that man who gave up a foot before diamonds. It's like you can't even see how close you are. Like, there's so much here for you. There's a gold mine, there's a diamond mine available for you. So don't give up because you're so close. I feel that Spirit is maybe asking you to work on your perception, because I'm really seeing the third eye now, to work on your perception of yourself and realize that even if other people can't see it, they will. They will. Like, trust me, they're going to see it. And yeah, it kind of sucks that people can't be as on board with your dream maybe as you would like them to be. Maybe not everyone, but maybe certain people, or I don't know, just in general, the world, the universe, whatever, as in humanity. But the thing is that once you achieve this dream, the whole world's going to be on board with you because it's going to be undeniable. Like, you're going to be an undeniable force where people are going to be like, wow, they really did it. They really achieved that thing. And you're going to have a huge transformation. It could be with your health, with your appearance. It could be with your life itself, with your career, with your ambitions. It's a huge transformation with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like kind of an unrecognizable shift from one life to another. So just because other people can't see it yet doesn't mean you can't. And I feel like Spirit's asking you to get back in touch with that kind of pure love for this vision that you have for your life before maybe you started to put yourself out there into the world and have the vulnerability of trying and maybe failing or not succeeding or not having it measure up to your level of ambition straight away. Let go of other people's perception of your actions and of your life, because like I said, they're going to be fully on board. As soon as this dream comes true, they're going to completely even forget that they ever doubted you. They're going to be like, you know what, I always knew you would achieve this. And you're going to be like, really? Did you? And they're going to be like, of course, yeah, I could totally see it in you forever. So there's something about this, like, people are going to 100% support you and be like, yeah, of course you would achieve this. And you're going to be like, what? So Spirit's saying, like, in this pre-manifestation phase, like, you are your own best friend and you have your relationship with Spirit that will help you with this. I know that the third eye energy might have been a little bit fuzzy lately. It might have been a little bit foggy, a little bit too much fear flooding the system to then you were so afraid that you couldn't quite see how close you were to achieving this, I feel, or how close that opportunity is, how it can literally come in a heartbeat. It can come within a day. There's something about the timing of this where it's like working, breakthrough. Kind of like with mining. Not that I really approve of mining, but it's a good example. Like you're mining, you're digging, boom, you strike gold, you strike the diamonds, you see it, you suddenly have a fortune, right? And before that, you just had dirt, and then you have a fortune of diamonds. That's the energy for you, group number 2. So keep going, have faith, trust, try to work on your perception if you can, just because for your own sanity and well-being. Remember your perception when you are one with Spirit, when you're in your high frequencies, when you're like, oh my gosh, I can totally achieve this, because that is the truest form of you. When you're feeling the highest frequency, you know you can achieve it. Like, I know that you can achieve it. And that's truth. That's what you need to trust, because fear is a lower frequency, so it distorts truth. It distorts our perception of truth. The fear has been necessary because it's been a purge. It's been a cleansing of things that maybe were even held within you already, within your cells. So just realize that this purge is necessary for you to achieve your dream, and see it as a good sign that your dream is actually coming in, because without this purge, it wouldn't be able to come in. Without this clearing and cleansing energy of this fear, of these programs, of these imprints, the dream couldn't come to you. So see it as a positive thing that it's happening. And yeah, enjoy that destiny shift when it comes in. You could totally achieve this dream. I'm sending you so much love, group 2. And if you would like to check out more of my work, please see the links in the description box below. I could see the sacred space clearing really helpful for you. I could see the divine feminine, a light language tape really helpful for you. I could see the Akashic record clearing tape really helpful for you, or the activate your voice really helpful, especially as you're dealing with this purging and the clearing of the fear in your pre-manifestation phase. Okay, I'm sending you so much love. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the 10 of Pentacles. And what does Spirit want you to know about your dreams? So see how there's like a treasure chest here, but there's also several rats kind of playing, just surrounding it. Okay, so no hate to the rats, but rats kind of do represent, like scavengers, right? They're like scavenger animals. So I feel like there's something here about you need to protect your dreams. You need to protect your treasure, which I feel like is you and also your gifts. Something about your creativity, your genius, something about your gifts or your ideas, or just you yourself have so much value. And I think that in the past, you haven't fully been able to see this in yourself. Yeah, your self-image has been distorted from some kind of childhood trauma, not like, I don't know, the way you were raised. It's like people didn't see you properly. And you've inherited this sense of misperceiving yourself. And what it means is that because you're not like guarding your treasure in the way that you would be if you could see how incredible you are and your value and your worth, I feel like it can attract these scavenger energies where people are like, well, if you're not going to claim this treasure, then I'll have some of that. Or if you're not going to stand in your power, then I'll have some of your power. Or if you're not going to make the use of your success, then I'll have some of your success. Or I'll have some of your fame or your spotlight or your limelight or your whatever, your creativity. There's something like that. And it attracts really the worst kind of people, unfortunately, that really just want to take for themselves, that might copy or like that wouldn't be able to get to where you can get organically. So they try to like hijack your energy to get there. So what you need to do is set boundaries, basically. But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, really, because I think that you already know about boundaries and things like this. It's more about really recognition of how incredible you are and what your value truly is and what you actually bring to the table and how you are like worth a fortune. Like you have such an incredible divine inheritance that you are here to have in this lifetime. And there's something about the specific dream that you've been asking about through this reading. For it to fully manifest and come to fruition, you have to be aware of these scavenger-like energies, these people that want to take from you, and you have to be able to have the self-worth where you don't attract that anymore. Okay, so we're going to pull some more cards to kind of see what else Spirit wants to tell you. I feel like this is a little bit of a case of everyone else can see you but you, group 3. Like, I think you really don't see yourself clearly. Like, you don't realize how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, how creative you are, how talented you are, how successful you are or could be. Yeah, and so it like leaves the door open for these people, these types of energies to come in. Spirit, what do you want group 3 to know about their dreams? The 9 of Swords. Okay. Judgment. Okay. We get some more. The 2 of Swords. And the 4 of Cups. Okay. So the 2 of Swords, the 9 of Swords. There's something about you actually almost might get a little bit anxious about this. Okay, how do I word this? Gosh, it's such a complicated energy that I'm picking up on, so just bear with me as I'm trying to like decode it for you. I'm thinking about a friend I used to have like years and years and years and years and years ago. And she had this pattern with money where whenever she got money, she used to spend it straight away, and she used to buy everyone gifts. And I always thought it was really strange behavior. Like I would observe this pattern in her. But she would always be broke, and then she would somehow suddenly get money, and then she would buy everyone something. And I thought that it was very interesting, but it makes me feel like that kind of energy where it's almost like she felt anxious about having money. So spending it and like giving it away and sharing it like was a way of like soothing her anxiety. But really, it didn't really serve her, right, this pattern, because she ended up then being broke again. And, you know, like it was this cycle that wasn't really like working for her that well. So I feel like it's something like that, where it's like the possession of this treasure chest that you have, at some subconscious level, it makes you anxious. And I don't think it's even conscious that it does. I think that it's a subconscious thing. And I think that's why you have shared it historically with these scavenger people. Like people who might try to like approach you just for your success. And it doesn't mean you have to even have that much success, okay? It's like, it's more of an energetic thing, okay? You don't have to have had like millions of subscribers or millions of views or anything like this. It could just be like, for example, a social media platform where you just have an energy that people really love, or they you know, your people really drawn to you. And that's something that someone else can't necessarily generate organically for themselves. So they try to like be like, yeah, we should be business partners, or we should do this project together, or like, I'm just going to come into this thing with you. It's something like that, where people want to like hijack you. They want to hijack your energy. They want to come in. They want to take what you have built for yourself, and you don't guard it strongly enough because of some kind of subconscious program where it's like you end up giving something away, or you leave the door open for these rats to come in. Okay, it's like my friend, where it's like, I don't think she consciously knew what she was doing. I really don't think so. And she was a generous person or whatever. But I feel like it came from this like wounded place. So I feel it's like something like this, where you have this treasure chest, but then it's like you want to give it away, or you want to share it with everyone, or you want to, like there's some kind of inappropriate boundaries that are not being set. Like you're not setting appropriate boundaries for the way that you really should guard treasure. Like, what do we do if we have a box of gold? It's like, well, you might want to put it in a safe, or put it in a bank, or I don't know, bury it in the backyard. Like, I don't know what you do with a box of gold, but that's what I'm seeing, is that there's some kind of actions that would be appropriate, but instead you're kind of like leaving this box of gold open on your kitchen table, and anyone who comes in can grab a piece and take it for themselves. And like, I feel you are generous. So I think that this does, in a way, come from a good place. Like, it's a nice thing to do, to want to help others and like lift people up. But you're doing it for the wrong people. Like, it's attracting the worst kind of people that really don't kind of like deserve this level of handouts or this level of help. They don't respect you enough. Like, there's something where they're trying to take advantage of you rather than like celebrate you, whereas you're not trying to take advantage of anyone, so you might not see that in other people as well. There's something about your energy, it's very pure, it's very innocent, and I feel people sometimes want to take advantage of you. And like I said, you don't even have to have that much for people to do this, okay? You don't have to think like, well, I don't have a box of gold, or I don't have that many subscribers, or I don't have that much fame or fortune. It doesn't matter, because your energy itself is literally gold. Group 3, like your energy itself is gold. You have so much going for yourself. You have a magnetism, you have a way of manifesting, which so many people lack, and they don't have it. And you are just generally really likable and lovable. People love you. People like your work. People like what you have to say. And so people like these people, they see this and they're like, I don't get that response. I don't get that energy. So I'll just go and be with group 3, and then I'll get some of their light. I'll steal some of what they have. And that's not a good energy to be associating with, because you can give away, like you can be generous. Like, I'm not saying not to be generous, but I'm saying to be generous with appropriate boundaries, to be generous from a healed place, not from a wounded place where people end up taking from you. So there's something really important about this, clearing up this subconscious pattern, about seeing yourself clearly, seeing your value and your worth clearly, because this dream that you're asking about, maybe it really will be like a huge pot of gold, or it is like a huge amount of success, to the point where it might matter more if someone is trying to come in and do this pattern with you. And the thing is that it's something that I feel like you have a responsibility, or something like this. Like, how do I word this, energy, spirit? It's kind of like you have a responsibility. You know, like how if you have children or whatever, for example, you might not have children, you might have children. It's not really relevant to your children, but it's just an example of the kind of energy that I'm feeling. It's like, as a parent, you have a responsibility to protect like who is around your child, right? There's like boundaries that you put in place. There are ways in which you protect who is around the child. That's the kind of energy that I'm feeling Spirit wants you to have for yourself. It's like, have this responsibility where it's like you protect who's around you and who can access you and why and what for. And because in order for this dream to come true, these boundaries must be like ironclad, like it must be like fully in place, and these rats can't come in and start taking this treasure from you. It's also because the reason for that is not just personal, it's also some kind of responsibility for others. Because, you know, if, for example, you have a channel on YouTube or something, and then one of these kind of nefarious sort of people come in and try to, you know, you end up collaborating with them, well, then you kind of have represented, you know, this person as someone you approve of, right? And then other people might fall for their energy. So there's some kind of responsibility that it's like you're being taken to a new level of needing to have really strong boundaries, of needing to really be aware of the way in which people might use and abuse you. And because soon, or something like this, it's like soon, or once this dream comes true, it's going to impact more than just you. It's going to impact more than just you. So it needs to be put in place already for this dream to happen. With the Judgment card here, this is the call from the angels. This is like the angels are calling you to a new life. They're calling you to a higher level of service, to a higher level of income. I just had. They're calling you up. They're calling you up into a higher level of income, into a higher level of service, a higher level of magnitude in the way that your work reaches people. And I feel like part of this dream coming true for you, whatever the dream is that you've asked about, it's going to help you clear up your self-image so that you're going to actually see yourself clearly. Because the Four of Cups can talk about like not seeing things clearly, not seeing yourself clearly, not seeing situations, opportunities around you clearly, thinking that things aren't available to you when they are, kind of feeling really lackluster about life. And in this case, I'm really feeling this is about your self-image and your perception of yourself and how it's been clouded by your childhood trauma and even karmic imprints from past lives as well. And it's like, if you could just for one moment see yourself through the eyes of the angels, you would literally be mind blown. And if you could see your whole life through the eyes of the angels, my gosh, group 3, like you would literally be unstoppable. And that is what I feel is a blessing coming in for you. This isn't even a blessings reading, but you deserve like so many blessings, group 3. Seriously, you have really good karma, group 3. Like, I feel like you need to know this. The angels want you to know this. You have really good karma. You've done really well in life. You've done, you know, you've done the right thing. You've been a good person, and you just really deserve good things to happen to you. I feel like the whole world, in a way, deep down, like wants really good things to happen for you because you just deserve it so much. Like, you deserve to be nourished and loved and taken care of in the most beautiful way and have positive, beautiful people around you. So there's something about this dream coming true. You're going to be able to see yourself clearly through the eyes of the angels. Like, the way that spirit sees you is the most accurate kind of way of seeing yourself. It's kind of as well, this feels really profound. Like, you know, when people have near-death experiences and they actually pass over to like another dimension, another realm, and they have a lot of insights flooding into them. They have this vision of their life, this version of their life. They see it in a different way. They see the way they've impacted everyone. They see how every thought they've ever thought, everything they've ever said, how it impacts everything in this world. And then they usually choose to like come back into, well, if they're talking about their near-death experience, then they choose to come back into their body and to keep going with this life and to basically make amends or to try things differently or to whatever awakening they had about their life. They're like, wow, I wasn't seeing this thing and now I see it and now I can take action on it. Well, the biggest thing that I feel like you would see, group 3, if you had that kind of experience, is just how incredible you are and how much you weren't seeing that you are amazing. Like, you really are. You're an amazing person. You are like an angel incarnate on the earth. And it's sort of like everyone else can see it but you. And it's really time for you to be able to see this in yourself. I think that it might take a little bit of time to integrate because whatever like wounds were there from your childhood, from your past lives that you've incarnated through and into in this life, they were there, they need to be healed, right? In order for this self-image to change. But you are so beautiful, you're so incredible. And I feel like in this life, it's part of your soul's destiny, like to have that transformation and to see yourself with clarity and with clear perception, to really see yourself clearly and to have that self-image aligned with who you are on the outside, aligning with who you are on the inside. Because it's kind of like the example I can give is if someone is like just drop dead gorgeous, like absolutely beautiful, but then they don't see that about themselves. They're like, no, I'm not. And they have some kind of like low self-esteem about their appearance. And it's like, gosh, like how could they not see that? You know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. This is how people feel about you in terms of your self-image. They're like, do they even realize how lovely they are? Do they even realize how much they light up a room, how much they like give to the world? And I just feel like you don't. And look, you're always going to have a humility about you because I feel like it's who you are. And it's not like you're going to suddenly have this self-image shift and then have this huge, gigantic ego and like walk around like a narcissist or something. But I just see it needs to come into balance where it's like, you need to kind of have a little bit of a period where you are kind of thinking, you know what, I'm amazing. I'm actually amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm really, really amazing. I'm really talented. I'm really beautiful. I'm really this. I'm really that. And to kind of, really, really have that recognition because you are sitting on a box of gold. Like you are treasure, group 3. Like, you are so incredible. And I just feel like you have really, really positive karma. And this is probably the number one thing that I would say if I was reading your energy, which I am, but if you came to me for an energy reading, I feel like this would probably be the number one thing that I would say you need to work on karmically in this lifetime is your self-image and the way that you are not seeing yourself clearly. And of course, with, love and grace healing from whatever traumas in your past might have created this from happening. It's also giving me kind of the energy of like, I saw this YouTube video ages ago of this woman who was like really, really, really overweight, like kind of like really obese. And then she had gone on a weight loss journey and she'd lost like a whole bunch of weight. And then she'd become like really, really quite thin and sort of manifested her dream body or whatever. And she was talking about, what did she call it? Weight blindness. I think she called it weight blindness, where it's like, even though she'd lost all of that weight and she was like fitting into all these clothes that she'd always wanted to wear and she had all these followers on Instagram and all these things, she was like, she still sometimes had this self-image issue where she would still kind of feel as if she was the old version of herself. Like, even though she had manifested what she wanted, there was still these blocks to like really kind of embodying that. And sometimes she would still kind of walk into a room and feel as if she was that overweight version of herself again. And it would really like bug her and kind of like mess with her mind a bit because she's like, well, I put in all this work and I have it on the outside, but it's like, it takes a little bit longer to have it on the inside as well. So there's something here about like your self-image needing to match up with like your internal and your external needing to be one, needing to be in balance. And the reason I'm saying internal is because I really feel this energy of like subconscious programming from some kind of childhood trauma or from maybe being raised in a way where you really weren't seen or you really weren't valued in the way that you really ought to have been. Maybe you were even treated really badly and that's why you aren't able to like see it in yourself or something, not able to see how incredible you are because you were treated in a certain way as a child. And whatever you like have gone through, I do feel like there is healing here for you, group 3. Like you are really more than capable of healing from whatever it is that you've gone through. Okay, so let's see, like you really can heal this. I really feel that really strongly. Like you're sitting on a box of treasure and you're meant to unwrap it in this lifetime, but it's like you can't have it sitting open on your kitchen table and having all these rats coming in to try to take from you, okay? No hate to rats, all right? Let's see. As in the animal rats. The bard, music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling. Yes. See, you've been enchanted. You have had an enchantment placed upon you where you aren't seeing yourself clearly because of the music, poetry, myth, history, because of the myth in your history, because of this some kind of a tale that was spun to you as a child or in your past lives as well, where you were told that you were worthless or that you weren't beautiful or that you were this or that you were that. But conditions have changed. You know, you are well, you're an adult now, right? You're different now, but it's like there's still this lingering energy that's stuck in that past version, but you can heal from this, and you're meant to break the enchantment, because I feel there's maybe you were really bullied by someone in your family, or a parent even, really spun this kind of tale where they always maybe blamed you for things. They're like, this is your fault, or something really nasty, something really, really heartbreaking, really, for a child to go through. I feel like you went through it, and it really created this enchantment in the way that you saw yourself. And that's what I feel is meant to break. And that's what I feel when you break this enchantment, you can have this dream come true. And more than that, like, you have such good karma, group 3, you can really, whatever you want. And I mean this, I know that's extreme, but I really feel that, like, you are literally like an angel. I just want to give you a hug, because I feel really moved by your energy. It's like, you're an angel. I feel like you're just meant to basically overcome this trauma, overcome this enchantment that you've been placed under. It's like this enchantment in your mind and the way you see yourself. It's like you have this thing over your eyes where it's like you can't see yourself clearly, or you can't see the people that have hurt you clearly and see them for who they are, which is like wicked. And realizing, like, once you see things with truth, it's really going to set you free. And then you could have whatever it is you desire. And I feel like you're going to have this relationship with manifestation where you're going to be like, you know what? I really want this thing. And then the universe is going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Here you go. Like, I just feel like there's something about, like, people want to bend over backwards for you. And it's like, you don't let them because you don't feel like you're worth it. And it's like, even the universe wants to bend over backwards for you because you're just so precious. My gosh. Okay, we're getting another card. The Goblin, that's right. See, the wounded human ego, it's like, I feel like someone who raised you or was in your family of origin, or it could even be past life. But I mean, if it's past life, then it's going to show up in your family of origin. Okay, that's how it works. In my experience, the way that I see energy is like, if you are born into a family of origin where there's someone who's very in their wounded human ego, playing out a goblin kind of energy, then that will echo something that you have carried in from a past life, like an imprint karmically. So the things that we experience in our early childhood conditioning is always some kind of karmic imprint from our past lives that we've carried over. So I feel like there was someone in your family that was like this wounded human ego, and they really messed you up energetically. I feel like part of your healing is about seeing them clearly for who they are. It's not that you have to see them with an absence of love and compassion and care, but you also have to see them clearly. And the thing with children is that they love unconditionally. They're caregivers. They just love unconditionally. There's no condition placed upon the love that they give. It's just unconditional love. But in order for you to really unlock, it's like you have to pull apart the threads of this knot of trauma inside of you. And one of those threads is like, okay, well, this is who this person really is. This is where they were coming from. This is why they, treated me this way. And the thing is that subconscious stuff is buried so deep in us, it can be really, really hard to actually see how it happened and how it played out. Because you might be like, well, I had great parents or whatever. And maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. I don't know. But there is something here about seeing yourself clearly also involves seeing some other people clearly, and the way that they have impacted you or the way they've treated you wasn't right. And the thing is that when we have subconscious programming, like, we often will repeat the same pattern with all of our relationships. So it can feel like, well, that's just how relationships are, or that's just how people get treated in relationships. And it might be like, it might take finding like a true love or a soulmate connection or a soul friend, a soul family member, to really feel like, oh, this is the new standard of love in which I need to actually compare my other relationships to. Because I feel like you've been really mistreated, group 3, and it might be sometimes hard for you to see that, or you might sometimes blame yourself for that. I feel a lot of this enchantment is like you blame yourself. You're like, well, it's my fault because I made them upset, or I did the wrong thing, or you take on this level of guilt and burden that's like really not yours, or you feel bad if you set a boundary and you upset them, or it's complicated. So the wounded human ego is like, I guess it's also kind of your human ego, where it's like you need to have a better ego, as in you need to have more of an ego, Because the ego isn't always like in spiritual circles. Sometimes there's sort of this belief that we don't have ego at all. And it's not really like that. We just need a healed and healthy ego, because egos can help us with, things like ambition and creativity and like wanting to be a part of the world and contribute and things like that. But we can have wounds to the ego that can make us have inferiority or superiority. Okay, so that kind of manifests from ego wounding. So I feel like for you, it's like you might have been around someone who had more of a superiority kind of energy, and then that made you feel really like this inferiority energy. And I feel you have this inferiority energy where you see yourself as less than, when you're so not. You're like literally the opposite of that. So there's a lot of healing available to you in this lifetime. And I feel like the healing is really just part of it. Like, you're not here for a healing lifetime. You're here for an amazing lifetime. But this healing is just part of you unlocking your dreams. It's like, you need to heal this so you can unlock your dreams. Yeah. Okay, let's see if there's anything else Spirit wants to say. I feel like part of your power is locked up in this perception. Like, you are as powerful as a dragon. Like, that's the energy I'm getting. Like, you really have so much power in you, but it's locked up still inside of yourself. And in order to unlock it like a key, you need to perceive yourself clearly. And that might mean perceiving others clearly as well, which could feel quite hard. I feel like you're very protective of people that you love, and you might not want to like hurt their feelings or things like that. But again, it's like, truth will set us free. The truth will always set us free. Pray for truth and it will set you free. No matter what, it will always set you free. And it might take a little bit of time to integrate it, but it will always, always, always set you free. So for you to achieve this dream, you need to perceive yourself with clarity and with truth. With clarity and with truth. And like I said, if you had an experience, like if you had a near-death experience where you like died for some time and then you came back into your body again, I feel like what you would be shown is exactly how this like low self-image was created and formulated in your childhood, like a perfect melting pot of energies that created this way of seeing yourself and being in the world. You would see it so clearly and you would be like, oh my gosh, like that is so based in my trauma. It's not true at all. And it would help you to really shed that, like shedding it like a skin, and come into your power. Like a whole layer of trauma falling off you as you come back into your power and you realize you are capable of reclaiming your power no matter what it is that you've been through. Okay, group 3, that is your reading for today. I'm sending you so much love and light on your path. And if you'd like to check out my work, please see the links in the description box below. I really feel like we'll activate your voice. The new throat chakra light language I just did would so help you, as well as the activate your soul gifts light language, the Lemurian light language. I feel like that one as well would really help, especially with sort of past life energies that I was feeling coming through your reading. But really, any of you resonate with it, I really feel like it would help you as you are in this healing phase of your life. But like I said, this healing won't be forever. I don't feel like you're just here for a healing lifetime. I think you got things to do. You got people, places, things, people to meet, places to go, things to do. You got a lot going on. You got a lot going for you and you got a lot going on, but it's just this healing phase that you're in. And I see this breakthrough where you really reclaim your power and stand really strongly and firmly in your power. And perceiving like the truth will set you free. The truth is the lock. The truth is the key that will open the lock to your power. Okay, group 3, much love.